People of Reddit, what are some of the guy code and girl code unwritten rules that you always follow? Till I need better friends. Guy code. When greeting someone and you're not sure if they're a hugger, always shake their hand first. It allows them to throw up the other arm for a hug if they're down for it. If your friends help you move, you are expected to A. Be packed already, and B. Provide pizza and beer. As a guy that lifts weights and has brought some of his other male and 2 female friends into the fold, you never, ever slander another person's weight on any lift. If your friend is 250 pounds and only benches 135, but is trying his ass off, then you never make a sound other than howling intense encouragement at them. The rule in my basement is, everything is heavy to somebody. As long as you're giving it your full ass, then the number is irrelevant. The person who buys the shots makes the toast. Too many times I've seen someone buy a round of shots and someone else jumps in with a toast. If you want to make a toast, buy a round. See something. Compliment something. If you're a stranger, particularly if you're a guy, only compliment the things you wouldn't get slapped for touching. Hair, clothing, great. Facial feature, tattoo, maybe. Ass, boobs, shut the FCK up. Edit. I do not condone or encourage touching strangers, especially their eyeballs. Dude, if there's like 8 open urinals, don't take the one next to me. If I offer someone a beer or other alcoholic beverage and they turn it down, I never push it. Sometimes I don't want to drink and I hate being pressured. Never pressure a drink on someone. If someone offers to pay, you should ask them if they are sure. If they are, then it is rude to further reject what is supposed to be a kindness on their part. I got the bill. Are you sure? Yeah. Don't worry about it. Thank you. Lightly picking on each other is a sign of endearment, but you should always be trying to build each other up. Don't put someone else down just to make yourself feel better. Everyone wants to feel important and the center of attention sometimes. Don't bang someone that your friends are deeply invested in, even if it's not going to go anywhere. I wish I had friends who followed any of these. I will wingman any man. I don't even have to know you. Hell, I'll wingman any woman too. If you are trying to make an impression on someone you think you'll hit it off with, call me. I love and am always willing to help make it happen. If their bedroom door open, be careful to sound your approach before popping in. Never know what he's up to. That's why I always whip open doors. To catch people in the act. Edit. Girl code. If something is fixable within 5 minutes, makeup. Something stuck in teeth. Small things on appearance, you tell her and help her if needed. If it isn't fixable on the spot, you keep your mouth shut and especially don't point it out to others. Edit. Thanks for the gold. If I hear a girl say she needs a hair tie, I will immediately hand one over, even if I'll only have one left for myself. Edit. I also carry a ridiculous amount of bobby pins for similar purposes. Treat your friend's girl as if she's a guy. As a lady with autism, this has to be one of the most useful threads I have ever read. All these unwritten rules about how to treat others socially don't naturally occur to me. I feel like I have gained new powers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Edit. All you guys made me cry a little. Thank you so much for all your kind interactions. I promise to use my new powers for good. Have your boys back in an altercation, fight, argument. I'm not saying 100% of the time step up for them. Sometimes people do dumb shit and deserve the consequences. But if the need arises, you should have their back. Even if it just means stepping up beside them to look intimidating. If you see another girl in an uncomfortable situation, you try to get her out of there or at least let her know that you got her back. I've done it for everyone. From my sister, to my friends' moms. One time at a school event, My best friend's mom somehow ended getting an unsolicited massage from another parent with boundary issues, and I quickly made an excuse up that I needed help at the concession stand. No one is too old or too young to do this. On the more light-hearted side, in my experience, when you hug another girl, you always try to slot the boobs by going slightly to the side so that you don't just mash your chests together and hurt someone. Edit. I think I made everyone's next hug a little weirder. To all the people who helped somebody else out when it was obvious they needed it. You guys are MVPs. I call the boob slotting thing Tetris. You can have the last beer. You can have the last slice of pizza. You can't have both. If you sell a buddy a car, or anything of value, cheaper than normal because they are a friend, that friend must offer to sell it back to you before offering it to the general public. My grandpa gave me a car, and when my brother needed a car I gave it to him. When my sister needed a car he gave it to her. When it needed brakes and exhaust work she took it to the junkyard and kept the money. I'm still bitter. That car had enormous sentimental value. It was a 1990 Oldsmobile 98. It was so effing cool. Ugh. When guys fight, we never hit the groin. It's against the Geneva Convention s. Thou shalt never hold a bro's wingman duties against him. When you are chatting up a girl, I don't care how unattractive the friend he's flirting with is, or how bad his flirting technique is. When he's distracting the air defenses to give you a clear run at the target, you do not insult his flying. You always review combat once everyone is safely on the ground. You absolutely never share a glass of milk with another man. This is odd. I've never seen such a foreign concept brought to my doorstep that I immediately agreed with. If you see a girl with her skirt tucked into her tights, tissue stuck to her shoe, or lipstick on her teeth, tell her. This happened once in college when I was working retail. I was leaving the store's restroom and one of my co-workers, who was always a nasty bitch to me for whatever reason, had tucked her skirt into her underwear. I debated whether or not to say anything and then went with my gut and alerted her of the situation. She was always super nice to me after that. Guy code: if your drunk bro is about to cheat on his girlfriend, you must follow through with one intervention. If he says he doesn't care, you did your part and are free from any responsibility. One time my friend tried to stop me from cheating on my GF. With my GF, a bunch of us were at a social gathering. I asked my GF if she wanted to grab dinner afterwards, and my friend pulled me aside and reminded me that I have a girlfriend. And I told him, yeah, dude, this is her. He had met her before, and none of us were drinking or otherwise impaired, so I'm not sure why he was confused. Edit. So far, this is my most upvoted comment. I'll have to let my friend know how much he entertained y'all. Girl code: when another girl asks how she looks, if you have something negative to point out, do it gently and follow up with at least one or more positive. You gotta use the sandwich. Compliment. Insult. Compliment. At urinal. Dick in hand. Don't talk to me, man. Last slice of pizza or last pop beer always goes to who paid for it. If you all chipped in, you don't have to ask, but you have to tell. And never take both in the same hangout. No matter what the earlier rules say. Never mess with the music in another person's car. Don't care how crap you think their taste is. If you know someone else had a regrettable hookup. No, you don't. Not even if you fall out and become enemies. You don't remember. Never steal a bro's large fry, or the accidental curly fry. If another lady walks past and you notice a blood stain on the back of their pants skirt, tell them. But do it discreetly. Recently noticed a passenger had a spot on her pants. Wrote her a note and slipped it to her as I was collecting trash from the carriage. Half hour later, I see her again and she has a different change of pants on. She was super thankful. The guy code rules for eating a banana. 1. Never make direct eye contact with another man while eating a banana. 2. Never close your eyes while biting the banana. 3. Never take a bite longer than 1 inch length. 4. Never take more than 1 second to bite the banana. 5. Never let your lips touch the banana. When Squidward tries the Krabby Patty for the first time in his home. If you are fighting, no matter what, don't touch the balls. Edit. Of course, if someone is trying to kill you. Bros before hoes, but not before wives. Sure, it sucks when a buddy has to stay home for a weekend camping trip. But if his wife's sick and they have a 3-month-old. This is going to sound weird as a guy code thing, as it's actually a bro thing to do for women. If I happen to be walking somewhere at night, think grocery store parking lot, and I'm behind a woman, I always scuff my feet or something so that she doesn't get freaked out by a man popping out of nowhere. As a fast walker, I will usually also slow my pace so she doesn't think I'm trying to gain on her or anything. Women's lives are filled with these safety related mini panic attacks. And as a guy, I try to do my best to not cause them. Be generous with your closest friends. Buy them an occasional beer or their favorite soft drink without keeping score of whose turn it is to pay. Unless you are asked and willing to provide further details. Keep remarks about the time you spent with someone vague and borderline childish. Example. You've spent a night with your GF. You did everything from oral to new positions to using some of her toys. Your description and summation of all these events can be stated as I got some. When your best friend dies, you have to delete his internet history. Common courtesy. Silence at the urinal. Man. I will not speak to you unless I require immediate medical attention and you appear to be a doctor. If possible, I will take a urinal at least 1 urinal away from anyone else. And select spacing to maximize the number of potential peers who needn't stand shoulder to shoulder. Only speak to someone in a stall to warn them of an active shooter situation. Even then you can't directly address stall guy. You have to speak in generalities like, it is unfortunate that someone is on a rampage through the office. If anyone is in here, they may want to lift their feet. People who end a sentence with man, dude, or, my personal favorite, brother are immediately trusted. It's like a secret handshake that says at the very least. If he drives you pay for parking. Not up if you know them. Not down if you don't. Don't hold grudges against your brothers. Just tell him to FCK himself for doing thing X. And move the FCK on. On the other hand, if you did something to your bro, say sorry and buy him beers. First part optional. And don't do that shit again. Edit. Just because I've been responding to this a whole lot. The part about apologizing being optional was a joke. Always apologize. Up if you know M. Down if you don't. Edit. Ladies. I never said if it was guy code or girl code. It is perfectly acceptable to do this too. We welcome it. The head nod, all men know at birth, lol. If a girl throws up or passes out from drinking, no guy will touch her. Even if it means I have to glue myself to her for the rest of the night. If you have a tampon and someone says they need one, you hand it over, no exceptions. If a guy is imposing himself on a girl physically, you are obliged to rudely squeeze yourself between them and help her escape. Also, it's called bro code and ho code. You never ever ask a woman when her baby is due unless she has told you she is pregnant. I don't care if you can see it crowning. If a bro dies while lifting, add a few more weights onto the bar before dialing emergency services. If your bro is a virgin or has been on a bad dry spell, start a rumor at your work or school that he has a massive hog. We had a buddy who confessed he was a virgin, so we started referring to dick size as fractions of his last name. People would ask why. We'd say because he has a giant wang. And it became accepted as true. Bro's not a virgin anymore. Call your best mate CNTS and the CNTS around you, mate. You always go for the urinal farthest away from the occupied one. It's okay for me to talk shitty about my girlfriend, but my buddies better not fkin say a negative thing about her. Never admit to checking out someone's girlfriend's spouse. Using I don't know when a friend's GF or partner calls or texts you and you're not aware that they used you as an alibi and haven't talked to him. Example. Girl. Where's, insert name. Guy code. I don't know. Girl. He said he was with you. Guy code. I don't know. Girl. Where are you at? Guy code. I don't know. Girl. Well. Is he there? Guy code. I don't know. Girl. Did he leave? Guy code. I don't know. Followed by a courtesy call or text to your friend making him aware that his girl is on the hunt and she just called you. Don't date your friend's ex. Men can closely examine themselves in the restroom mirror, but only if no other men are currently in there too. Soon as someone walks in, pretend like you were just leaving. If a guy looks like he acting creepy, you walk up and start a conversation with them. If a girl is in need of a tampon or a pad, and you have one, you give it to her. No matter how much you hate her. No one deserves to bleed on their jeans. Upwards nod equals we're friends and I'm acknowledging you. Downwards nod equals I don't know you but I acknowledging you. With male friends, the day we stop making fun of each other is the day we are no longer friends. The ultimate dating code. Take your age. Divide it by 2 and add 7. This method gives you the minimum age you can date a guy or a girl. Works 100% of the time, 90% of the time. Never. Ever sleep with a deployed military member's SO. Also, part of the guy or man code the way I was taught that I haven't seen mentioned. If a little kid is involved in some sort of competitive event that you are also a part of, you let them win. Not every girl follows this code but should. When you see a woman in need of help because somebody won't leave her alone, you either tell someone or step in as her best friend and persuade the person to go. Women also just know to go to the bathroom together. For opinions on appearance. To gossip briefly. Or just for safety reasons. Edit. The safety reasons for going to the bathroom with another person aren't because of danger in the bathroom but the walk to it can be. In a crowded place like a club there could be predators anywhere looking for a girl on their own. Especially if the girl has been drinking. A pair of girls are less likely to be assaulted than a girl alone. Guy code. If someone throws up a high five or a fist bump you do not leave them hanging. Guy code. What about us code inside a relationship? Like never publicly taking a side against your ass. Oh. Never cross swords during a threesome. It ain't gay if it's in a three-way. At least 2 pats on the back when hugging another guy. No sniffing their neck either, it's kind of frowned upon. When a girl says I won't tell anyone, what she really means is I won't tell anyone except my best friend. Source. I just go by human code. If you look homeless and hungry I will buy you food. If you drop shit I'll help you pick it up even if you didn't need help. I will always let one person cut in front of me in merging traffic. If you start telling a story in a group and everyone starts talking over you, I will say, and then what happened? And listen even if no one else is. I always leave a public bathroom cleaner than I found it. My life motto is don't be an asshole. Doesn't matter the gender. Edit. It's made me so happy to see all of you who responded with other things you do to be decent humans. And thanks to the person who gilded this comment about trying to a good human instead of the other dumb shit I've said on this site. Always have one empty urinal between you and another guy. If that isn't possible, use a stall. Only when you can't have a urinal between and all the stalls are taken can you use the remaining urinals. If she says she's fat you insist she is not fat, oh my god. When the circle is closing and my bro gets knocked, I will always run into the blue to retrieve him. Always. Stranger. Nod down. Acquaintance. Nod up. Well, if you actually discover the girl code, don't tell them. They'll change it immediately. Never stir another man's porridge. Girl code. A loaned hair tie is a given hair tie. Never expect them back. Doesn't matter if she's your worst enemy. If she needs a tampon, you give the sister a tampon. If their partner is cheating on them. I discovered that one of my acquaintance's husband was blatantly cheating on her, and it was a common knowledge among his and her friend group. Everyone but the wife knew. I was shocked by her friends. I took her to a restroom and told her. She was crying and sobbing. I felt so bad, but ultimately, she deserved to know. Is it just me? Or has guy code become less of a thing now that I'm older? I have more generic be a good human rules than guy rules. No, he wasn't out at the bar with us last night. Always compliment the dude standing at the urinal next to you. Should a bro die in a weightlifting related accident? A bro will add at least 100 pounds to the bar before reporting the incident. Edit. Thank you for my first gold. When guys get to a bar or a big party, first thing they do is instinctively scan the room for signs, if any, potential troublemakers. Usually the telltale sign is a very loud, rowdy person who is drinking a lot. Once that person is spotted, every guy in there keeps their eye on him throughout the evening. Often in the presence of such a troublemaker, you'll see guys making eye contact and nods of acknowledgement to other guys they've never seen or met before. This is the silent way that we say, if this arsehole starts some shitty, I got your back. Must be fun having parties at the KGB.